Hey, how's it going? I'm Nemesis. This is RN Homesteading. Thank you for being here and all that good stuff. And out of all the things that we can grow here at our property, the one thing that I can't grow is this channel without your help. So thank you for being here and choosing to take this little adventure outside with me as we get into some potato harvesting. I think it's potato time. Let's see how these bad boys turned out. I had a bunch of plants. They grew. They flowered. They died back. Let's do this. All right, so we are at the end of my potato season here. I got some weeds here. Nothing crazy. I got some grasses, which shows that some of the soil is not the greatest. There's some dandelions in here, which shows a calcium deficiency, high magnesium, and anytime you got your root style crops, they are definitely a calcium fixer in the soil. Potatoes will also help uncompact it, start getting some air into that soil. And now that we are at the end of my potato season here, all my potatoes have basically died back. This is my last remaining green one, but I can see that the stem on it's starting to kind of break down, and it'll eventually the leaves will rot off on there, and it's basically pushing all the nutrients from the leaves back into the root crop. So let's go ahead and let's see here. This one has just finished its flowering. Trying to look at each one of these. Is it like these two were like the late ones, and then all of these are basically done. All the stuff on this side are done. This one over here is done. But definitely have like some buds on this one a little bit. I'm not sure if they're like opening or if they're closed, because it's did the same thing here. I think it's past that point. I think these two, I might hold off on harvesting these last two over here since they were the late bloomers. So I will definitely concentrate more on this side and then grab everything on this one far side over here and this one plant right next to me. So this is my first time of actually planting them in ground, so I have no idea what to expect. I did a deep mulch method right over the top of them, so watering hasn't been any issue for me in any way, shape, or form, which is a great thing. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and start harvesting, and you can harvest the stuff in one of two ways. You've got the trusty shovel to kind of dig them up a little bit, or got the recycle guy coming by, making a whole lot of noise. But anyway, or you've got a pitchfork to help kind of dig into it, but be careful when you're using a pitchfork that you can accidentally pierce the potatoes, and of course you'll have to use those potatoes first, otherwise they will rot. So you'll have to dry them out a little bit, or you might actually have to use them right away. I do recommend letting them kind of cure for a week or two before using them, at least a week, preferably two. You can just put them into a cool, dark place in a paper bag, and they will live life in there very nicely. Keep them away from onion storage though. So let's go ahead, and like I said, I'm going to start over on this bed over here, so let's dig in. All right, it looks like at a certain point in time, my camera decided to overheat being in the sun like that, so I've got a little something to cover it a little bit, so hopefully this will help out. But you guys missed me digging up all the potatoes over here. I definitely got a lot less than I was expecting. I've got a half a bowl here, and I basically have 8 plants that were over here. So they grew, but not the greatest. I have some decent size, but I do know Walla Walla onions, this is what the variety is they also produce less. So maybe my expectations a little bit off, because I was, the last time variety I planted was like a russet style potato, and then these ones being a little different. I did have some casualties. So I got 5 potatoes that it couldn't get into the ground is hard here. It's really compacted. I have a calcium deficiency in the soil. I know this. I'm trying to correct this. And there will be, I've already done some videos trying to correct it. You'll see me starting to apply another application possibly this weekend. So, but these potatoes, they're green, and what that means is that they got exposed to sunlight. Unfortunately, a green potato, it can potentially get you sick. I wouldn't trust it once they've turned green. So, I've got enough other good potatoes here, and I wasn't planning on showing this aspect, but my camera shut off. So I'm going to be harvesting all the plants over here and this one right behind me. These 2 I'm going to let die back a little bit more until I harvest them. So let's go ahead and dig in. All right, so I've got a half a bag of potatoes here. And if you guys are wondering how much that is about 12 pounds worth of potatoes. Far less than, about half of what I was thinking. But the last time I grew potatoes, it was russet and just a few plants. Oh my God, each plant was like almost 5 pounds each. If not more. So some of these potato plants didn't really produce too much. Some produced really good, some really big, large, potatoes. I mean, like, let's see here. I mean, this is a big sucker. This guy. That's a handful. For a Yukon Gold, that's pretty big. I would say for Yukon Golds, they're probably, this size is probably about normal. So that first one I picked up was about double the size. So not too bad, not too bad. A little less than I was hoping for, but I'd never grown Yukon Golds. So live and learn on that one. These should be nice and good. They're good for like mashed potatoes. They've got that really creamy, buttery taste to them. So if you like that really full, buttery, rich mashed potatoes, Yukon Gold's the way to go. I'm just saying. That's one of a good varieties. I've had it before. I've just never grown it before. So awesome. I've got 3 more plants, and if it's been anything of what I've been getting so far, I probably have maybe another 5 pounds worth of potatoes. So, and I might be pushing 20 pounds of potatoes, so I might have a full sack of potatoes. So 1 pound of potatoes basically will yield you over 10 pounds return. So that's not too bad. 1 pound input, and we've got 10 pounds as output. So I'm very happy, actually, guys. Very, very happy. I didn't even put in 10 pounds worth of potatoes, and it was like probably about a half a pound of potatoes, and I've got over 10, I'm gonna have almost 20 pounds worth of potatoes. Baller. So what you're gonna do if you guys are ever growing potatoes, put them into a paper bag. It'll help with the drying process and let the potato kind of cure. As it cures, it'll get a lot of the flavors into it. The starches will start breaking down a little bit, and it will it'll taste a lot better as you let it go for at least 2 weeks before you use them. I mean, you can use them right now, but to get the full flavor, give them a couple of weeks sitting in a paper bag. Put them into a cool spot like your back of your closet, corner cabinet that doesn't get opened too much, and leave it there for a couple of weeks, and you'll have really good potatoes. All right, it looks like for the potato stuff, I forgot to record any kind of an outro. So, of course, this is a few days later, of course, naturally. So, yeah, I hope you guys found all of that information with the Yukon Gold potatoes very informative. If you got any comments or questions, certainly put them down below, guys. I mean, there was a few casualties where some of them had been green because they came to the surface and saw sunlight. I did stab one potato. There was that casualty too. Outside of that, very, very awesome to be able to do all the harvesting. And I was able to harvest out the rest of those 3 plants too. And that yielded out about 6 pounds extra. So yeah, we had, like 20 pounds worth of potatoes off of like a half pound to a pound's worth of potato seeds going in. So I'm actually really happy with the turnout. Would I grow these again? Oh yeah. The potatoes are delicious. And, being in the soil, they grew very decent. Now, would they have grown better if I had them in a better prepared soil? Or maybe even looser soil, because like I said, that soil back there is got heavy clay in there, low calcium, so it still needs correction in there. Would I have gotten more yield if those potatoes were able to kind of do their thing the rest of the way instead of being in some hard, compacted soil, right? I think, it's hard to say, but we're well on our way to be correcting all the soil around the house. I've put down mulches and stuff like that, so these are things that you can do to kind of help correct. So, a back to Eden style gardening will put the carbon material back into the soil that is desperately needed, and that'll also help bring in other things. And then I've also been treating it with calcium and stuff like that. So we're trying to do all we can in what limited space that we have. So hope everybody enjoyed this. Certainly give this a muddy thumbs up on this one, because we got dirty digging up them potatoes. And like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. And like we always say, may your thumbs always be green. We'll see you on the next one.